What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's EyesFwdCo. I'm Cody. We're in the garage yet again with my wife, Nisha. She's supervising to make sure I don't hurt myself. But today, we're gonna jump on a project I've been kind of putting off for a month or two, and that is going to be cutting out my spare wheel. Main reason I'm doing this is because due to the mounting bolt for the last diff being seized, I had to cut a giant hole in the spear wheel tub to get it out. And now it just there's a big hole and it can catch dirt and everything. And second of all, I'm kind of tired of hitting my head on the spare wheel tub when I'm under the car and working on it, especially being that I never carry a spare in the car anyways. So that's what we're going to jump into. The one thing I do want to remember is to make sure not to cut above these spot welds along the front end of the wheel tub. And that's just because based off of everything that I've seen and heard and read, those are structural, so we want to stay a little bit below those. So I'm going to grab the cutoff wheel and we're going to go ahead and start hacking this thing out. And then not 100% sure if we're going to be removing the battery compartment today too, but I do have a panel for that. Let's go ahead and get things started and we'll go from there. Okay, well, my phone died while I was cutting because it's that hot outside. But we got the spear wheel tub cut out. And obviously I got to delete the charcoal canister. And I'm going to have to trim the heat shield back for, well, what used to be the muffler. We don't have a muffler anymore. But so far, that already looks a lot better to me because I know exactly how often I hit my head on the tub, and it'll make just servicing the differential or axles that much easier. But I'll show you guys what we're going to be doing to fill that. We have this nice steel panel that is cut to fit in there. Let me see if I can put it in there just to mock up, so that way you guys can see what I'm talking about. So it's sitting in the trunk somewhat like that. I still got to clean up some seam sealer in the back. That's just gonna kind of get in the way. There's a couple pieces of bracketry that I gotta drill out spot welds from. But overall, it should sit in there nice. It'll seal up any open spot and also make sure that we don't get dirt, debris, or water up in the trunk area. But yeah, we've been outside for like 20 minutes. It's It's really hot and I'm sweating profusely. So we're gonna head inside. I think either tonight or tomorrow I'm gonna come out here with the flap disc and just clean up all the edges just to make sure there's nothing like extremely sharp. And then we're gonna go ahead and remove all the evap stuff or the charcoal canister. Can't remember exactly what it is on these, but this stuff right in here needs to go bye-bye. So we're gonna get that stuff out of there, and then we'll start cleaning up all the spots where we're gonna go ahead and weld it to the chassis up. So that way, whenever I can get around to getting to a welder, we'll go ahead and tack her in, and then I'm gonna seam seal around it just to make sure, again, not that we get a lot of rain here in Arizona, but that doesn't become an issue. So cool. I'm gonna go inside and rest for a little bit and cool off. All right, so we're back in the garage. It is the next day. I rested a little bit too long, but I did want to start getting the trunk, A, all the sharp edges cleaned up, and then B, start taking some of the other things out that are going to prevent the install of the block-off panel, namely these brackets down in here. I need to drill spot welds out and remove those so it sits a little more flat. Big thing is gonna be this jack mount. I gotta make sure that's not gonna be in the way, but I do know that this one's definitely falling the right way. I don't have the spot weld bits, but we're gonna do the best with what I got and see if we can't get that little bracket out of there. Great thing is though, I don't have to get under the car or duck into the trunk. I can stand in the trunk or squat in there now, just because there is no more for now. So should make things easier. Let's jump to it. Okay, so I cut some little reliefs where the frame rail kind of poked out and prevented it from dropping lower. As you can see, we dropped probably like a 1/4 of an inch on this side and about 3/4 of an inch on this side. So I'd say that's about as low as it's probably going to be able to be done without me cutting like pinch welds and getting into like structural integrity stuff. Really, the only reason like we're welding this in isn't to necessarily retain structural rigidity, but more so to just prevent road noise from having this thing completely out and prevent any kind of like dirts, rocks, or water from coming up into the cart. So as of right now, I'm extremely hot. It's like 105 degrees outside and it's not a good time. I'm gonna go inside and cool off for a little bit, and then we'll come back out and I'll flap disc the areas that I have marked with Sharpie, just so when we do start tacking it into place, we can actually get a good weld. And then I'm still kind of trying to decide what we're doing about the battery box. I need to figure out a solution or a place to mount the battery if we're going to do that. So I just need to do some research and figure that part out. All right, so next session of working on the spare tire delete. I'm back outside. I got a flat disc on the angle grinder. We're gonna pop the sheet metal out and kind of clean up the mating surfaces. I don't think I'm gonna weld like a solid bead all the way around. I think I'm only gonna just do stitch welds along the edges to hold it in place. As long as it's held down and tight, then we can seam seal it. But I do want it to be reversible, so if I ever do back this thing into a wall, we can cut it out and not have to fight with it all day. So let's jump on it. Okay, so everything cleaned up. Paint's not the perfect, but all I'm trying to do is kind of scuff it up. All I gotta do is sweep out from underneath the car, get the plastics protecting the charcoal canister off of there so they're not dangling, and then I'm gonna pull down the street to the buddy's house, and we're gonna go ahead and tack this plate in there. All right, so I just got back from my buddy Joey's house. I didn't film there just because I didn't want to put his spot on blast, but he's not too far from me. So drove down there and we got everything kind of stitched in. It's not super stitched. I didn't want to put it all on spots, so we got it one in the center and the front and the rear, and then two on each side to lock it in. They're not the prettiest welds, but they're gonna hold it in just fine. So later tonight, before it gets too late, but when it's cooled off, I'm gonna go ahead and flat disc the welds just to get them kind of cleaned up. And then as far as the rest of that stuff's concerned, I'm honestly just gonna go get some weld through primer, spray that, and then put a layer of seam sealer over the gaps just to prevent A, road noise, B, moisture. And then for this next week or so, maybe two, I'm gonna figure out what the hell I'm gonna be doing with the battery box. The delete kit came with a panel to delete the battery tray, but I wanna make sure of where I'm going to permanently mount it, so that way I'm not causing any problems in the future. So I gotta get to that, but that's gonna be it, guys. I'm hot as all hell. I am not feeling the best just because of how long I've been outside. It's like 108 degrees right now. So I'm getting kind of dehydrated. I'm gonna head inside, take a cold shower, and relax for the rest of the night. But again, I hope you guys are enjoying the content. I've been really enjoying putting something out once a week. Just keeps me busy, and I enjoy editing video. So it's really cool just to find a sense of purpose with working on cars again. If you guys have been liking the content and you haven't yet, hit a thumbs up on the video. And if you're not subscribed yet, hit that button because it definitely helps me out. And I'm trying to build something kind of cool here on the channel for you, me, and be able to do this for years to come. So with that being said, you guys all have a good one. Love y'all. Stay easy. And until next time, peace.